Let's get to the lunar eclipse that is happening on the 7th of September at 15 degrees of Pisces. It's a blood moon total lunar eclipse, and the theme is trusting your intuition more than logic, letting go of illusions. September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces. That whole time period, from 2006 to early 2008, the nodes were in the exact same positions. So the themes playing out were the same. Also, look back to March 2015 to February 2017. The nodes were reversed. We had North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. The same areas in your life were going through a big shift, a big change, as they are this fall. And even on the world scale, the South Node is in Virgo. So we are having changes in work, employment structures, healthcare funding cuts, the economy, layoffs. The service industry is changing as a whole. And the North Node in Pisces is all the new developments that are going on. Music and media is changing a lot, and so are addictions. The younger generation is shifting away from the party lifestyle. They're very much into media. Media consumption is the new addiction. Pisces is the sign of escapism, where we go to escape reality, and we can do it in many different ways and forms. So you see all of that is shifting on a global scale as well. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse will affect you on a more personal level. You could be going through a lot of changes in your life. I do have a video on how eclipses affect your personal planets and points that you could watch. And over here, I just kind of summarized it. If it's sun, it's image, health, career, male figures. If it's moon, it's female figures, home, family, pregnancy, children. If it's Mars, it's your actions, ambitions, Mercury, skill set, travel, teaching, learning, as well as siblings, Jupiter, knowledge, luck, children. It could also be your marriage partner. Venus, if you have Venus, it's love, beauty, money, aesthetic. You could be undergoing huge relationship changes. Your sense of style is changing. Your beauty routine, hair, makeup, what you like can be completely changing. Saturn rules over our responsibility, our duty, our karma. It also rules over the elderly people in your family, in your life. If this eclipse is happening on your north or south node, then you could have huge, complete life shifts, a big change of direction, as well as if this is your rising sign. And just as I am making this video, August 24th, I just heard that Taylor Swift got engaged. I'm going to use this as an example. I might put it in the Sagittarius read, but Travis Kelce, his moon is at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. This is exactly the eclipse degree. Taylor Swift has a sun at 21 degrees Sagittarius. A huge life event for them. If I look at it from the horoscope of a Sagittarius, then the fourth house is affected, home, family, and it's the moon. Taylor Swift has her moon at 3 degrees of Cancer, and Jupiter has been transiting Cancer. Jupiter is known sometimes as the husband, the partner. So congratulations to them. This lunar eclipse is highly affected by Saturn, which is moving back into Pisces. So there are things in your life that can be blocked, need to leave. You need to realize what it is that no longer works. This is where the North Node is transiting. So you are developing something new in this area. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, abundance, is trining the moon. It is also sextiling the sun, which is opposite this eclipse. So Jupiter is bringing in some luck and some spiritual wisdom to this eclipse. The solar eclipse we are having on the 21st is a different story because it is exactly opposing Saturn. The Sabian symbol for 15 degrees of Pisces is an officer preparing to drill his men. And this talks about being disciplined, developing skills, planning, leading a group towards a common goal, a collective shift, but also wanting perfection, wanting others to do what you want, dictate to others how they should be or how something should be. 15 in tarot is the Devil card, and this indicates unhealthy attachment, feeling trapped in a situation, addictions. It is our shadow self, our desires, materialism. So you want to look at the area where you have the sign of Pisces. Ask yourself, where are you stuck? What unhealthy attachments do you need to let go of? Should you let go of? Are you caught up in the materialism aspect of life too much, ignoring the spiritual side? Are you stuck in an unhealthy relationship, unhealthy bond, and what is keeping you there? And what would happen if you let go? 2025 in numerology is a year 9 of completion, ending cycles, and September, a month 9, is also a month of ending cycles. So we have number 18 that is ruling over the month of September. And 18 rules drive, leadership, but it also rules changes, turmoil happening within us, things that are hidden beneath the surface, us not seeing everything that we need to see. 18 in tarot is the Moon card, symbolizing intuition, illusion, fear, hidden truths that you do not see. So this card really always asks you to look beyond the surface, question everything, and really go within for the answer. September 7th is a 4 of Diamonds day. The 4 of Diamonds is on the Neptune and Venus line in the life spread, meaning that on this day, we could also really desire a soulmate, a spiritual connection, a spiritual union. There could be unforeseen breakups. The 4 of Diamonds also deals with a lot of platonic friendships, situationships, third-party situations. There could be some deception in relationships or deception that comes to light. So on this day, we could also be over analyzing our partners, our relationships, or coming to terms with our inner dissatisfaction. This can also indicate that we can be speaking very harshly to others, or others may speak to us in harsh ways. So unpleasant conversations can be had. This eclipse is happening in the Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra, which in tropical degrees is 13 to 27 degrees of Pisces, represents a funeral cot, the legs of a funeral cot, rising from the ashes to awaken a big transformation. So everything I'm talking about is really pointing to the same thing, because this nakshatra also talks about trusting intuition over logic. If you think of a funeral cot, it represents finality, mystical experiences, the first step out of the material world and into spiritual consciousness. We can also experience mood swings, indecisiveness, introspection, and difficulty letting go, releasing. So you want to keep this in mind, something to think about while you're going through your changes. Don't make any rash decisions the week of the eclipse. Let the information come to you. Let it unfold in your life. Sudden shifts and changes can happen around the eclipse, and a lot of it we have absolutely no control over. All big life events usually involve eclipses to personal planets and points. I am using the Western tropical zodiac for these horoscopes, whole sign houses. The most important sign is your rising sign. That is what is happening around you. You can also watch for your moon sign to see how you will feel your emotions on or around this eclipse. And your sun sign is your career, your soul path. But I will say that the older that you are, the closer you are to your late 40s, going into your 50s, you are going to feel your sun sign much more. So it is also very important. If you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting down below. I really appreciate that, and everything will be timestamped down below. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the lunar eclipse on September 7th is happening in your 12th house. This is the house of self-sabotage, loss, expenses. It's the house of sleep, bed pleasure, charity, helping others, hidden enemies, substance abuse issues, fears, your subconscious fears that are holding you back in life, isolation, opposition from others, and dealing with foreign lands, people from foreign lands, as well as long-term investment. This is a lunar eclipse, so you are giving something up. You are releasing, letting go of ways you self-sabotage yourself, your life. This is an excellent time to get rid of unhealthy thinking patterns, bad habits, situations, and people from the past may come back into your life. Or you may just find yourself going over things that have happened in the past and thinking of them in a different way. This is your subconscious mind, what you do unconsciously. Whereas the sixth house is that routine work that we do on a day-to-day basis. That is where you're going to be having the new beginning. But before we start doing things on a day-to-day basis that is completely new, we subconsciously find out what is no longer adding value, bringing value to our life, what we need to discard from our lives in order to live a healthier lifestyle, be a happier person. A good time to find a charity to donate your time and energy someplace where you are needed, helping others. Later, this comes back to you. Changing your sleep patterns. There might be a change in the way that you rest, the way that you sleep. Escaping reality. That is also the 12th house. So how do you escape reality? Is it in a healthy form, an unhealthy form? How can you change that? So this is all the 12th house. So you are changing your subconscious belief system. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse will affect you on a more personal level. Saturn is going to be retrograding back into the 12th house. So you are going to have that last test, revising the way that you want to live, the way that you want to change. The ruler of this eclipse, Jupiter, exalted in the sign of Cancer, is in your 4th house. So these patterns that you are changing could also come from trauma, past trauma, family lineage, the way that you interact with family members, those closest to you. So the new beginnings might come in the form of a move, a new home, a new pet, a new member of the family. Improved family connections, improved relationships. The solar eclipse on the 21st is also bringing in new beginnings, new healthy habits. It could also be a new job, a new health routine, new eating habits. If you are a business owner, hiring new employees, new people coming to work with you, new coworkers, paying off your debts, finding a better, healthier routine. Look back to the fall of 2006. We had an eclipse exactly the same degree as we are September 7th, 15 degrees of Pisces. That whole time period from 2006 to early 2008, or when the nodes were reversed from 2015 to early 2017, what was going on in your life then? Because the themes are the same. I hope that this was helpful, Aries. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you are having the lunar eclipse that's happening on September 7th in your 11th house. Friendships, groups of people, older siblings, acquaintances. This is also material gains, money gains, your hopes and dreams Recognition, the love that you receive from other people. Fifth house is the love you give. 11th house is the love that you receive, your future goals, your plans for life. Friends may move away, or you feel like you have grown apart from certain friendships. There could be new developments happening in the life of your older sibling, or your relationship can change. Old acquaintances, old networks, groups you used to belong to might not feel the same way. You are ready to begin something new, so you are closing out a chapter with friends, acquaintances, groups, charities that you used to belong to that you no longer align with. There can be a change in your influence. Maybe you become more popular, gain more followers, especially if you are on social media, because this is where the North Node is transiting. So even though you are having this chapter that is closing, this is where you are developing yourself, where new things will be coming into your life, such as new friends, new followers, new recognition, making new future plans, seeing some of your hopes and dreams come to pass, come to fruition, gaining from new income sources. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse can affect you on a more personal level. There could be other things in life going on, other things changing. As Saturn will be retrograding back into your 11th house from September to the middle of February, certain friends that you have had for a while, you might see them in a different light. Things may be revealed to you you are yet unaware of that really changes friendships. The ruler of this eclipse is Jupiter. Jupiter is sitting in your 3rd house, exalted in the sign of Cancer. So a new beginning can be formed through self-effort, social media, making a business, a website, a new skill set that you are undertaking may provide new friendships to you, meeting new people in your neighborhood, in your community, new neighbors coming to your community. Your community is evolving, maybe getting a new cell phone, new computer, and completely revamping your skill sets. Now, also, you're going to have a new beginning in your 5th house area. So maybe investing your money, a new creative hobby that brings you a lot of joy, pregnancy, children, new beginnings in your children's life, and romantic love affairs. A new romantic partner can be coming into your life. The fall of 2006, we had eclipses at exactly the same degrees as we are having in September. So what were you going through from 2006 to early 2008, or when the nodes were reversed, which was 2015 to early 2017? This is the axis of friendship, my tribe, romance, love, creativity, and children. And that is what is changing for you. I hope that you found this helpful, Taurus. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. The eclipse on September 7th, a lunar eclipse, a closing chapter. This will be happening in your 10th house. This is the house of career, social standing, your parents, as well as authority figures, bosses, judges, anybody who has authority over you. For some of you, you may have already seen this start to happen, or you will, but bosses, the people that you report to at work, can be changing. You could be leaving a job, or maybe getting let go from a job, starting a new career in the coming months. Well, this is a lunar eclipse, a closing chapter. This is where the North Node is transiting, where you are developing yourself, new things you are developing in this area. So whether that be a new job, a new business, a promotion, a rise in your social status, it will come with an ending. So there's an ending and a beginning, needing to release something in this area so the new can begin. Maybe aligning to a career path that is more suited for you. Look back to the fall of 2006. This September, we are having the eclipses at the exact same degrees we did then. So really that whole period from 2006 until early 2008, what was changing in your life? The themes are playing out in the exact same way right now. And even when the nodes were reversed, which was March of 2015 to about February February of 2017. What was changing in your life? This axis for you is home, family, parents, the relationship you have with your parents. They could be undergoing changes in their lives. Your relationship could be changing. Where you live, your car, your career. These are the two areas of life that are undergoing major changes with these eclipses. If you do have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, then this eclipse can affect you on a more personal level. There could be other things in your life that are changing. The ruler of this full moon lunar eclipse is Jupiter, which is now sitting in exalted Cancer in your second house. So you closing out a chapter in the 10th house will lead to more money, more income, more possessions, a better self-image. So if you release this job that you no longer align with, or you leave a job, you are going to find better. And there's also a new beginning happening in your fourth house, Gemini. So whether that is moving in with somebody, a new place, a new vehicle, revamping your home, redecorating, a new pet, a new member of the family. So there's a closing out in a new beginning. And this new beginning is leading you to a better place. I hope that this was helpful, Gemini. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This lunar eclipse happening on September 7th is happening in your 9th house. This is the house of faith, belief, foreign travel, as well as immigration, moving abroad, changing your belief system, changing in education, educational path. Maybe you let go of certain spiritual teachers, certain gurus in lieu of finding someone that is more aligned with your way of thinking right now. Moving abroad, immigration status changes. This is also the house of legal matters. So this may be a closing out of a legal case. Ending certain publishing deals, finding a new publishing deal, spiritual practices that you undertake now that you are drawn to, learning, teaching, travel. Also, you might be wanting to teach people what you have learned. You might find a new spiritual teacher, new spiritual teachings that more align with you. You are closing something out in this chapter, but at the same time, this is where the North Node is transiting, where you are developing yourself. You are developing new belief systems. You're opening up your world. If you've been closed off before, you're going to open your eyes to new spiritual teachings or just new teachings in general, whether through a book, a mentor, you find something that just calls to you and it makes you change the way that you think, the way that you live your life. Or maybe you have something to teach the world, and this eclipse might wake you up to that. Look back to the fall of 2006. We are having eclipses at the exact same points, exact same degrees. That whole period from 2006 to early 2008. Or when the nodes were reversed, March 2015 to February of 2017, what changes were occurring in your life? The themes are playing out in the same way. It's education, self-effort, community, neighborhood, travel, learning, teaching. Now, if you do have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, then you could have other things changing in your life as well. Saturn will be retrograding back into your 9th house area from September to February of 2026. So there is going to be new revelations that you learn that might make you change your mind about what you have been learning, studying, your belief systems. The ruler of this eclipse is sitting in your first house. So these new changes that you are undertaking will improve you, your health, your path in life, open up new doors for you, change your outlook on life, and this will even lead to a change in your appearance. There's also going to be another eclipse this month, a new beginning in your 3rd house area. A new neighborhood, new neighbors, new developments happening in the lives of your siblings, or your relationship becomes better with your sibling. You become closer. gaining new computers, new cell phones, new skill sets that you develop now that give you more confidence. You could also be building a website, a social media platform, and really joining groups of people, really talking to people more, sharing your ideas. I hope that this was helpful, Cancer. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The lunar eclipse on September 7th is happening in the 8th house for you, which deals with joint finances. It's also occult knowledge, occult subjects, astrology, tarot, psychology, digging deep and finding out why you are the way that you are, your inherited family lineage, transformations, past karmas of the family, sudden changes, inheritance, debt, partners, income, secrets, and scandals. Eclipses will give sudden changes anyways, so try not to make any rash decisions. Secrets, things that you have been holding on to, can come to the surface. There could be changes with your spouses, your partner's finances, debts that you pay off. This can even mean someone passes away, you get an inheritance, and there can be big shifts and changes in your relationship with your spouse or partner, your intimate relationship. Things may begin or end very suddenly. Issues with taxes, investments, insurance policies, healthcare plans may come up. This is also the house of give and take. Not just with money, but where and how you and your partner share chores, share energy, share responsibilities together. This eclipse can really highlight any unequalness in the give and take of relationships. Who's putting in all the work and who's not really doing anything? Or is everything fair? Sometimes with this access, there is even breakups, divorce, separation of assets. This is one of those times where you can finally shed and break old family patterns that are not conductive for relationships, for family. Breaking away of all bad negative patterns that you have formed because of your lineage, because it was introduced to you in early childhood. This can also be a time where child support, alimony, or if you get any help from other people, that comes to an end, or the amount changes. Something can change in this area. Look back to the fall of 2006. Look to the fall of 2006. We had a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces at that time. That whole time period from 2006 to early 2008, or when the nodes were reversed, March of 2015 to February of 2017. The themes playing out are the same now. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, you will feel this eclipse much more strongly. It can affect other areas of your life. During this eclipse, Jupiter is trining the moon. It is sextiling the sun, so that is helping. And you have the south node in your second house. This is where you are dissatisfied. You could be dissatisfied with the way that you and your partner share all obligations when it comes to family, finances, your money, how much money you're bringing in, even possessions, close friendships. Anything you find valuable might bring a lot of dissatisfaction. The North Node is in Pisces, so you are leaning more on your partner. Or this could even be a time where you're not really bringing in any money and you're leaning on your partner's finances. This is where the North Node is transiting, where you are developing new beginnings in your life, new ways of doing things. On the 13th of September, as the Sun and Mercury come together with the South Node there in your second house, you are also initiating a new beginning when it comes to financial matters. So the area of life that's changing for you are your finances, your partner's finances, how you share responsibilities, how you share tasks together. Intimacy, possessions. From September 1st until early next year, Saturn is retrograding back into your 8th house. So there can be a lot to revise when it comes to your partner's finances, how you share everything together. Yet just like with the lunar eclipse, Saturn coming back in here means that anything that is not working properly will be discarded. So it can be an emotional time for some people because it means that you are releasing something. But with this Jupiter trining, it means that you will understand it on a deep level, why it is that you have to let go of something. And in October, Neptune will move in here as well. So there can be something that was hidden from you that comes to light when it comes to your business partner, your romantic partner, your spouse, anybody that you share finances with. There are new beginnings forming in this area as well. So your partner might get a new source of income, get a new job. At the end of the month, you are having a solar eclipse in your second house, which could also mean more income, more possessions, different sources of income. So you are releasing something that can no longer go on the way that it has. And you are having a new beginning when it comes to your financial matters. I hope that this was helpful, Leo. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. There is a full moon lunar eclipse on September 7th happening in your 7th house, the house of clients, contracts. It's the house of business partner, spouse, long-term partner, your relationships with the general public, and it is also the house of opponents, open enemies. This lunar eclipse is going to bring in changes to your relationships, marriage, divorce, taking a relationship to the next level. Those of you who are married, you're coupled, you're in a happy relationship, this could mean that there is a big change in the life of your partner, your spouse. Maybe their look is completely changing, their style, their career could be changing, their health. Some of you may be completely ending your relationships. Some of you may have been doing that. You've had Neptune there for a while, Saturn there for a few years. September 1st, and for a few months after, you're going to have Saturn retrograding in your 7th house yet again, either testing your relationships or really showing you the cracks that are still left within your relationships so that you could fix them or release them. People from the past may come back into your life, reach out to you in some way, because not only will Saturn be retrograding here during the eclipse, but Neptune next month is also retrograding back into your 7th house. So lies can be exposed. Things that were kept from you can be exposed. For the next few months, Virgo, after this eclipse, your relationship area is really the front and center, as well as yourself, your path in life, your health, your appearance. The effects of this will last a long time. The next eclipse in your 7th house is August 28th, 2026, but that is at 5 degrees of Pisces, also a lunar eclipse. If you have personal planets from about 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, you can feel this eclipse a lot more. It will be much more intense and also signifies that there will be more major changes in your life. If this is your sun sign, your image, your career, your health, and where you're going in this life, your path in life may change. If you're on the right path, though, it could actually just be that things align for you. If you're not on the right path, it can seem very chaotic. If this is your moon sign, then changes to your home, your family, female figures in your life, pregnancy, children, all of that kind of stuff can be shifting and changing in your life. If this is where your Venus resides, then your aesthetic can change, your appearance, the clothes that you like can change, your whole style, as well as your romantic relationship and your money. The fall of 2006, on September 7th, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces, like we are having now. So try to look back what you were going through, what was changing in your life, that whole period from 2006 to the middle of 2008. And then when the nodes were reversed, which was March 2015 to February of 2017, what were you going through? Because the themes that are playing out now were playing out then. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, luck, and abundance, is trining this eclipse. It is also sextiling the sun. in your first house, indicating a new beginning in your appearance, your goals, and your career aspirations. If there have been relationship entanglements, situationships, relationships that aren't working out, you will have to release that. You will have to let them go. And that is what this lunar eclipse is about. It could also be that you are taking a relationship to the next level, marriage, a bigger commitment with somebody. So if you've just been in the midst of dating and now you want to get serious with someone, this is something that can occur. It can also be a time, and you may already be in the thick of it, experiencing this. Maybe you find out about infidelity. You find out something you were unaware of. A partner leaves you, or you decide a relationship is just not working. And this could also be a relationship that you have with a client, with a business partner. It does not have to be a romantic relationship. Seventh house is also opponents and open enemies. This could be a time when a competitor, an opponent, finally leaves you alone. It could be the end of a business contract. Those of you who have a hard time releasing, letting go of feelings that you have for an ex-partner, this can be a time where you finally release those old feelings for somebody, especially if before you were just unable to let go. And with that trine to Jupiter in your 11th house, it could also mean that you will be benefiting from more clients, more followers. Meet a romantic partner or spouse through a friend group, or maybe through a charity, a group that you belong to, through a business acquaintance. This can be a very emotional time, especially for those of you who have personal planets in those degrees. Sometimes you look back and you realize that relationships last that whole cycle. So you might have met somebody exactly 18, 19 years ago, and now you are releasing them. This can happen. Or you met them 9 years ago. Eclipses are fated events. They can bring us somebody that was meant to be in our life. Sometimes forever, sometimes for 9 years, for 18 years. And maybe you don't even date them the whole time, but maybe you were kept coming back to each other. As Saturn makes its way back to your 7th house on September 1st, it will stay there for a few months, which will give you a lot of clarity on past relationships, on current relationships, and Saturn can make a relationship stronger, stand the test of time. But a lot of times it breaks apart relationships because they are not solid. You Virgos could have been going through a lot of relationship changes, and every single eclipse in your 7th house happens to be a lunar eclipse. So while the North Node is in the 7th house, and you are developing something new there, a lot of you are actually developing maybe a new business structure, business relationships, and releasing relationships, and maybe even not wanting to date. There is a lot of releasing going on when it comes to your 7th house. A lot of maturity that is happening because Neptune was there, so you might have been in relationships that were dishonest, infidelity, lies, deceit. The partner maybe had addictions, even mental illness issues. And when Saturn swooped in there, you saw all the flaws and cracks within your relationship. So a lot of you might have just be fresh out of a relationship and learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. I hope that this was helpful, Virgo. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The lunar eclipse on September 7th is happening in your 6th house, which is work, health, co-workers. It's the house of debt, paying off debt. This is also the house of problems. Problems come into your life and you are fixing them. With this lunar eclipse, it is a great time to let go of any negative habits, especially as they pertain to your health, your diet, your regimen. Your work and daily routines within your jobs may change. If you are a business owner, you could have some employees leave your business. You may have work-related job changes, whether that is a change in what you do at work, or maybe even getting let go of a job, leaving a job. Your coworkers can be changing. The people that you are working with every single day can be leaving. Maybe new ones are coming in, but you may sense a big change at work. Some of you may be really paying off debts and really organizing your life. Your whole daily schedule may change. Your diet, your workout program. And when I say daily routines, it could even mean that you start going to a different gym, a different nail place, a different salon, all the places that you visit all the time, where you get your services done and who does them. You may want to do away with what you have been doing thus far. This can be a time where a pet leaves your life or there is changes to a pet's health. If you do have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, you will feel this eclipse more intensely. If it's your sun, image, health, career changes. The male figures in your life could be going through changes. If it is your moon, it is home, family, children, pregnancy, female figures in your life. Your emotional stability can be changing. If it is Venus, then changes to your style, your aesthetic, what you like, what you dislike will be changing. Your money and your personal relationships, love, romance, romantic partners. If you have the North or South node in Pisces, then you could be going through huge life changes, moving, meeting somebody new, new job, new place, big life shifts. Look back to the fall of 2006, September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces, just like we are now. That whole period of 2006 to 2008, what were you going through? And when the nodes were reversed, March 2015 through February of 2017, what was going on in your life? Were you releasing negative habits? Were you taking care of your health, paying off debt, changing your schedule, changing your job, letting go of self-limiting beliefs, bad habits? Because we are here having an eclipse at exactly the same spot yet again. Jupiter is trining this eclipse. It is also sextiling the sun in your 12th house at the time of this eclipse. So there is a new beginning, especially to your conscious awareness. The solar eclipse we are having on the 21st will give you a lot of answers to why you self-sabotage, why you maybe choose jobs that are not for you, why you stay in situations way past its due date. You will have the answers. Jupiter will give you the wisdom and the wisdom to let go of what is no longer good for you. Habits that you need to let go of, whether that is habits you need to let go of, health changes that you need to make, routine changes that you need to make, choosing different service providers. September 1st, Saturn also moves back into your 6th house. So it is there during the eclipse. And this can give you a lot of realizations about what is wrong in the workplace with your coworkers, with where you're at in life. And this might push you to make the big change. Let go of a toxic workplace, toxic employees. Over the course of the next few months, you guys will be making different changes when it comes to your health. And some of you, even a new job is on the horizon. I hope that this was helpful, Libra. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. The lunar eclipse on September 7th is happening in your 5th house. This is the house of speculative gains, games of chance. It's the house of fun, your hobbies, creativity, romance. It's also the house of education, knowing on a deep level. This lunar eclipse will bring changes to your creative project, creative hobbies, what you like to do for fun. Your investments may be changing. This is the house of children, so there may also be changes in your children's lives. Maybe they are leaving the house, going off to college, or they were single, now they're getting married, they're becoming a parent. There is a big life stage in their life that has come to completion. This can be an ending to a romantic entanglement, a situationship, a relationship. If you've been dating someone and it hasn't really been going further, this may be a time where you release them. You let go of a romantic partner. A full moon is something coming to completion. So for a lot of you that have been putting in the hard work into a creative project, this can be a time where you finally see the fruits of your labor. Some of you can even be giving birth in the next few months, falling pregnant, or falling in love. The 5th house being love and romance as well. If you have been seeing someone for a while, it can mean that now you take a relationship to the next level, the next step. If you have personal planets from about 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, you will feel this eclipse much more intensely. It could affect other areas of your life. If this is your sun, your health, your vitality, your path in life, male figures in your life, your career, your image. If it is your moon, this can mean family, home, female figures in your life. If it's Venus, it's love, beauty, money, your aesthetic, your style. September 7th, 2006, so the fall of 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces, like we are having this September. That whole period from 2006, 2008, what were you going through? What was changing in your life? Because we are having eclipses at the exact same place, so the themes are playing out yet again. The nodes were reversed from March of 2015 to February of 2017. So the themes were playing out again. This is the axis of friendship, my tribe, the love that you give versus the love that you receive from other people. Creativity, romance, children, love, friendships. This is the axis that is changing in your life. Jupiter is trining this eclipse from your 9th house, and it is also sextiling the sun, the south node, Mercury, which is in your 11th house during the eclipse. So you are going to have a sense of wisdom and understanding to what is going on around you, what you need to release, what needs to change. The ruler of this eclipse, Jupiter in your 9th house. So this could be about education, teaching, learning, travel, and there will be a new beginning also in your 11th house with the solar eclipse coming up on the 21st, new friends, new groups you want to belong to, people recognizing you for your talents. On September 1st, Saturn moves in right before this lunar eclipse into your 5th house, and it will be retrograding in your 5th house for a few months. So you could have a lot of realizations to what you want to change about how you date, how you do romantic relationships, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your creative ventures, your hobbies. So you may get a sense of things that used to bring you a lot of joy, you had a lot of fun with, might not do it for you anymore. You might want to find new hobbies, new ways of having fun. Try not to make any rash decisions on or around the eclipse, as information can come to you you are unaware of. And sometimes these changes that will be occurring on or around the eclipse come with a lot of chaos. And since this is happening September 7th, you may have already been feeling this. You may already be going through these changes right now or in August or over the next few months. I hope that this was helpful, Scorpio. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this lunar eclipse on September 7th is happening in your 4th house. This is the house of parents, your mother, your inner security, the house of conveniences, boats, cars, your home, your real estate. Now, some of you already started a shift in this area, or you will be over the next few months. This could be moving, letting go of an old vehicle, letting go of an old home. There could be new developments in the lives of your parents, or they could be going through something, maybe even your mother. Usually eclipses on the 4th and 10th house axis really coincide with career changes and places of living, buying new cars, redecorating, a new member of the family coming into your life, maybe even a new pet. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse can affect you much more strongly. If you have planets really close to these degrees, then other areas of your life may be undergoing a big change as well. Look back to the fall of 2006. September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at the same degree, the same spot in your life. That whole time period from 2006 to 2008, the themes that are playing out now were playing out then, or when the nodes were reversed. From March 2015 to February 2017, think back and see, what were you doing? You were probably going through a change in your home, your family life. Your parents were going through a change. Maybe even you bought a house, bought a vehicle, you moved. There could have been changes in your employment as well. Jupiter from your 8th is sextiling this eclipse. It is also trining the sun in your 10th house that's there together with Mercury and the South Node during this eclipse. And Saturn retrograde comes into the 4th house. So you may gain a lot of clarity about where you want to live, who you want to live with, about your home and family life. Eclipses can bring on change chaotically out of the blue. So try not to make any rash decisions on or around the eclipse. But Saturn will actually show you what it is that is wrong in your home life, in your community. And Jupiter will give you the wisdom to make a big change. The September 21st solar eclipse will be bringing changes to your career. Your bosses, your colleagues could be changing. With Saturn being involved and this being a lunar eclipse, a lot of times it is a time to let go of something, whether that be a vehicle, a home. Full moon is the conclusion. So maybe some of you were working really hard, saving money, and now you have bought your first home, your second home, your vacation home, a new vehicle. The ruler of this eclipse is in the 8th house. There could be a huge transformation in your home life, in your family. Maybe your investments or a loan that you get can buy a new property, a new home, marriage, getting married, becoming wealthier because of a spouse or partner. Big shifts can occur to the way that you and your family members split the bills, split the responsibilities. In fact, just as I am making this video on the 24th, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. And this is how astrology works. His moon is exactly at 15 degrees Sagittarius. Her sun is at 21 degrees of Sagittarius. So their family life is changing, their home life, their finances, because the ruler of this eclipse is in the 8th house of shared resources, money from other people, your spouse's income. Congratulations to them, and just an example of what can happen around the eclipse time, especially when it is really close in degrees to your personal planets. The eclipse is extra potent 4 weeks before and 4 weeks after the actual eclipse. That is where all the stuff occurs if it is hitting a personal planet of yours. Some of you are noticing these changes already. Some of you will be undergoing them over the next few months. I hope that this was helpful, Sagittarius. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the September 7th full moon lunar eclipse is landing in your 3rd house, the house of siblings, neighborhood, self-effort, skills, communication, learning of new skill sets, short distance trips, your siblings, and your relationship with your siblings. This is a time to release outdated thinking, a time to even let go of old computers, old cell phones, maybe needing to replace a piano, a guitar, a camera, maybe even skill sets you no longer utilize that you may want to do away with completely and learn something else. A time where your siblings' lives may be changing, or the relationship you have with your siblings can change. Neighbors could be moving away. You feel like your community is changing, even where you like to hang out, where you like to grab dinner, grab coffee, could be changing. A lunar eclipse is a time of completion. So if you have been working on something, you can finally see the fruits of your labor. Maybe you feel like you have a whole community to communicate with, you have built your website, you have been promoting yourself, and now you can see that it has been paying off. But it is also a time to close out a chapter, leave things behind that are not conductive or productive to your life, whether that be certain skill sets, certain communicating patterns. Your daily schedule is going to need to change so that you could see the improvement in your life. On September 1st, Saturn is coming back into your 3rd house, and it is there during the eclipse and a few months after. So there could be realizations about your relationship with your siblings, your efforts, your skill set, you realizing that you need to do things in a new way, a different way. Release outdated ideas, outdated forms of communication, outdated skill sets. So maybe you need to find new ways how to talk to and communicate to business partners, clients, romantic partners, meeting a romantic partner online or in the community. A big change that you are undertaking could bring in a new business partner. It could also give you a lot more clientele if you own a business, you have a website. There will also be a new beginning on the solar eclipse on the 21st that maybe you take a big trip that changes your perspective on life. You change your educational direction, or the way that you want to publish your work can change. So for you, Capricorn, it's all about communication, how you deal with people, and letting go of self-limiting beliefs, improving your skill sets. You guys could be really restructuring your day and changing where you put your effort into. If you have planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, you can feel this eclipse much more intensely. Your sun, that this could be changes to your career, your health, male figures in your life, if it's moon, home life, family, children, your mother, female connections in your life. If it's Venus, then aesthetic, your look, your style, what you love, money, and relationships can change. Look back to the fall of 2006. September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces, like we are having this September. That whole period from 2006 to the middle of 2008, what was changing in your life? Skills, learning, travel, neighborhood, siblings' life, where you put effort into. We are having eclipses on this exact same axis, so the themes are the same. Or even when the nodes were reversed, March of 2015 to February of 2017, the same themes are playing out now as they were back then. Of course, you're in a different place in life, but you'll notice that the same themes come back around as the eclipses go back to the same points. I hope that this was helpful, Capricorn. The second house is what we consider valuable: family, close friends, the money that you make, your speech, your voice, eating, teeth. A full moon lunar eclipse is something coming to its fruition, to a conclusion. Maybe if you have been working hard on something, it is a time where you gain new possessions. You gain money, a new source of income for what you have been working on. At the same time, a full moon and a lunar eclipse mean something has reached its limit. It needs to end. This can signify a changing of close friendships, a change in the family. Not even uncommon to separate from a partner or spouse when you have eclipses on the second, 8th house axis. A divorce, as it is 8 houses away from the 7th house. So a transformation in relationships is taking place, and this could even be business partners, clients, but of course it could mean romantic relationships. Dental work needing to be redone, maybe you changing your eating habits, how you speak to people, how you speak to yourself could be changing. Maybe you realize that you talk negatively to yourself about yourself and it really affects your self-esteem, which is also the second house, your self-worth, your self-esteem. Some of you could be letting go of a source of income. So there definitely could be changes in income, and there could be changes with how you, your partner, your spouse share household responsibilities, household financial responsibilities, changes in the family and family relationships, because that is your security, the foundation in which you stand on. There can be big changes, even parents moving away, you moving away from your family, maybe even cutting ties with somebody you thought was a really good friend. You are releasing something so something new can begin. This is where the North Node is transiting, where you are developing something new, a new source of income. Maybe you have acquired or are about to acquire new possessions that you find really valuable. Purchasing a new car, a new home, new jewelry, things that you will value for a long time to come. What you do find valuable can change at this time. The ruler of this eclipse is Jupiter, and it is sitting in exalted Cancer in the 6th house. So a lot of you could be gaining new employees if you own a business, changing service providers, who does your hair, who does your nails, dentist, doctor. Your daily schedule is changing. It's improving. Your diet, your workout routine could be changing. Jupiter is also sextiling the Sun and Mercury, which is sitting with the South Node in your 8th house during this eclipse. So there is a brand new beginning when it comes to intimacy, your partner's finances. Maybe your partner gets a new job, starts making more money. The way that you share responsibilities together will change. So if one of you has been thinking that something is unfair, one of you does too much, one of you doesn't do enough, this could be a time when things come to a head and things change. On September 1st, Saturn slides back into your 2nd house, where it will stay for a few months, and it's there during this eclipse. So you could see and have a lot of realizations about what it is that needs to change when it comes to family responsibilities, finances. If you've been commingling your finances with certain family members, that may need to change. A lot of times with eclipses, it's chaos, or you learn of something you were unaware of before, and that's where the big shift and change can come out of the blue. And the trine from Jupiter will give you the wisdom to know what it is that you need to change. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse can affect you in a different way on a more personal level. September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces, like we are having on September 7th. The whole period from 2006 to early 2008, what were you going through? What was changing in your life? Because the themes are playing out yet again. Or even when the nodes were reversed, March of 2015 to February of 2017, what was going on in your life? It's really changes of income, changes in self-worth, self-esteem, changes to what you find valuable. Does one partner give too much and one gives too little? Is it an equal give and take in a relationship? Possessions, letting go of old possessions, buying new possessions, changes in the family, change in family relationships, change in your self-worth, self-esteem. All these things are changing for you, and you're going to see this unfolding in the next few months. Some of you may have already started seeing this in July and August. I hope this was helpful, Aquarius. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This full moon lunar eclipse happening on September 7th is happening in your 1st house. This will be affecting your health, your vitality, personality, your path in life, who you are on a core level, how you present yourself to the outside world. This is where the North Node is transiting. So you are developing something new in this area. A change in how you present yourself, a change in your health. You are leaving behind an old identity and you are starting a new one. A full moon is a time of conclusion. Past, you can finally see rewards for past efforts. If you initiated completely overhauling and changing your life, you can now see huge changes occurring all around you. At the same time, a full moon and a lunar eclipse is a time of closing a chapter out, parting ways with an old identity of yours. You might undergo huge changes to your personality, to your look. You might want to overhaul your style, the way that you do your hair, the way that you do your makeup, or you may actually want to just let go of certain routines. You may be like, you know what? I don't want to dye my hair anymore. Let's just let the gray show. You are releasing certain aspects of your personality. The ruler of this eclipse is Jupiter, sitting in exalted Cancer in your 5th house. So it could be that you make a complete change because of a creative hobby, a creative project, a new romance, children, grandchildren. Jupiter trining this eclipse, also sextiling the Sun in your 7th house, where Sun, Mercury are coming together with the South Node in September. There is a new beginning in your relationships, or maybe new business partners, new clients coming to you. becoming more popular with the public. So through releasing what no longer aligns with who you are, where you are at in life right now, you are going to see new beginnings and new opportunities come into your life. The trine from Jupiter is bringing in a lot of wisdom to this lunar eclipse, where you accept that things need to change and you understand on a core subconscious level what it is that you need to release, what it is that you need to stop and part ways with. Since Saturn is sitting in the first house with the eclipse, it could be a time where you just have to have this change. You are really letting go of who you used to be and stepping into a new phase in your life. And while you are changing, the people around you, your relationships could be changing as well. With the South Node in your 7th house, there could be a dissatisfaction in a romantic relationship or dissatisfaction with the way that your partner's life is going, their career is going. There is some dissatisfaction in this area. And this year, next year, some of you might even be changing your relationships, marriage, divorce, even somebody from the past coming back into your life because it's South Node. It could even be a past life connection, someone you feel you have known for a very long time. So while there is big changes with you, your appearance, the way that you present yourself to the world, there can be changes within your personal relationships as well. If you have personal planets from 12 to 18 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this could be a very intense, life-changing eclipse for you, and other areas of your life can be changing as well. If you have Sun there, male figures in your life could be changing your image, your career, your health, your path in life. If it's Moon, it could be your family, your home life, your mother, female figures in your life going through a change. If it is Venus, it's love, romance, your relationships, as well as your money, your style, your aesthetic. What you like, what you dislike can be changing. Look back to the fall of 2006. September 7th, 2006, we had a lunar eclipse exactly at 15 degrees of Pisces, like we are having this September. Actually, that whole time period from 2006 to early 2008, what were you going through? Because the themes playing out in life now were the same ones that were playing out back then. Even when the nodes were reversed from March of 2015 to February of 2017, what was happening in your life? This axis is all about you, your personality, your style, your path in life, your health, and your personal relationships, whether that is romantic or it's business relationships. So this is the axis undergoing huge changes, and it's happening now, and it will be happening next year in 2026 as well. If you find this helpful, like and subscribe for more.